Hey everyone, Gavin from thrivewp.com. We are looking today at how to create a child theme for your WordPress theme. Okay, you might be looking at this video because you've just been kind of looking into how to do that. You might have stumbled upon this video because you've literally just searched about how to create a child theme. It can be a bit confusing, and some places kind of make it more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, essentially, creating a child theme is as simple as having one folder and one file, and that single file only needing a few lines of code, and that is your child theme. So it is very easy to do, and we'll try and keep it as simplified as possible, so that it kind of is as easy a tutorial as possible. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you need to do. Whether you're on Mac or Windows, it doesn't particularly matter. Okay, but you need to create a folder. So you do that in whichever way you do on your operating system. So for Windows, you do it like this. Okay, and we will call the folder, for simplicity's sake, the same as our parent folder, but with the addition of child on the end. So we are going to go 2019 child. Okay, so that's pretty much what you want to kind of name your folder. Okay, so that then when we have a look in a moment, okay, we'll activate 2019 here a second. Okay, so when we've got 2019 installed and running, this is how it will look. Okay, so when we create the child theme, we need to give it the same file name. So if we go into our admin, our folder system for the website, okay, and you can see it's all lowercase, all one word. So we're going to call ours 2019 / child, as we've done here. Now that we have our folder, we need to create a file for it. Okay, and to do that, you can use just a simple text editor. You can't use Word, it won't work. You need a basic text editor. Okay, so on Windows you've got a couple of options. You just got the standard kind of Notepad text editor. Okay, we are going to use Notepad++ because that's our favorite one to use. On Mac, I imagine you probably have something very similar, but it is just a text editor. You're not going to be able to do this in Word or anything like that. Okay, so the next thing we need to look at doing, okay, is putting some code into this file. But before we do that, let's just name it and get it into the folder. Okay, so we're going to save this file as style.css. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to save it into that folder we created. Save. Okay, so now we can have a look at our desktop. Got our folder, we've got our file. Now there's one more file we need to create and put in here. Okay, so we're going to do that now. So we're going to create a new file, and we're going to save this file as functions.php, and we're going to save it in the child folder again. Okay, so now we've got two files within our child theme folder. We've got a styles file, a CSS file, and a functions file, which is a PHP file. So that is it. You've pretty much created the basis for a child theme. That's how easy it is. All you need to do now is simply go and copy and paste the code from our blog post, and that's pretty much it. So we'll have a look at that code now and what it means. Okay, so this code here, okay, is for the styles CSS file. Okay, so we'll copy that. All right, and we will pop over to the style file and we'll paste that in. Okay, so there's a couple things to note that are, well, one thing that's really important, and that is the template field. This has to be exactly the same as your parent theme. So whichever theme you're using as the parent or main theme, this has to be exactly the same as the file name. Okay, so you might see in the admin that it's 2019 capitals and space, but what we're looking for is the actual name in the file system. And usually it is all lowercase, one word, to be honest. So for our example, we're creating a child theme of 2019. So we want to make sure that we're referencing the parent theme, which is 2019. If we don't, the child theme isn't going to work. Okay, and then everything else you can pretty much put whatever you like. Okay, we're just going to keep ours very simple, just for clarity's sake. Really, it just makes it a lot easier to understand. So we're calling the theme 2019 child theme. The description, we've just given it the same. We've made sure that this is correct. Okay, so we'll save that. That file is now done and ready. So the functions file has you don't necessarily require a functions file for a child theme, but it's recommended these days. So what you used to do, or what people used to do, sorry, is that they used to add an @import, okay, function in the CSS file, and they would import the parent CSS through there. But that's not really recommended anymore, and WordPress themselves don't recommend that, purely because it can slow down your site sometimes. So what they suggest now is called it's basically what you do is you enqueue functions through the function file. Okay, so that's what they recommend, is to enqueue the style through the functions file instead. But again, this all sounds really confusing. All you need to do is go to our post, okay, and copy and paste the code again. So this code here is for the functions file. So you copy that, paste it into the functions file that we've created, okay? And again, there's just one thing that you need to change in this file, and this is this part right here, okay? So what this is saying is it's calling the parent style style information, basically. Okay, so it's saying this is the parent style, and we want to pull the style CSS from it. Okay, so you will need to change this to reflect whatever your parent style is. Now, it is possible that it might not be just 2019. Okay, so what we then need to do to make sure we get the right thing, okay, is we need to pop into our admin, and we need to go to theme editor. Okay, now ensure that you've got the theme that you want to use as a parent theme selected, so in our case 2019. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to find the functions file of this theme. So there's the functions file. Okay, and then what you can do to help you out is look at our post. Okay, and what you'll do is you'll look for either this line or this line. Okay, so we'll copy that and we'll pop over and we'll just do a Control F to find and see if we can find that line. Okay, so we found that line, but we also want to make sure, okay, that not only do we have one of these in that line, but we also have WP and Q style. So if we find that line again, sorry, so we've got this line, does it have WP and Q style? Yes. Okay, so it's calling the style, and it's got both of these text elements that we're looking for. So this is the wording we're looking for. So it's 2019 style. Now, it really does depend on the theme. They're not all going to be the style name / style. They are going to be very different. It really does depend. So you've got to make sure you get it right, or else it won't work. So we've got that. We're going to copy that into our child theme and paste it. Okay, so now we've got 2019 style. We're going to save that. So that is it. Our child theme is now created. That is our child theme. There's nothing more we need to do apart from upload it to our website. Okay, so to do that, we just need to zip this folder now. Okay, so we're going to compress that to a zip folder. There we go, and you know, it's going to be different on Mac, I presume, but possibly quite similar. So now that we've got our zipped up child theme, we want to go to our admin, and we want to go to appearance and themes, and we want to go to add new. Then what we want to do is we want to upload theme, okay, and we want to choose a file, and we'll go to our desktop, and we'll find that zipped up child theme. There we go, and we'll select open and click install. Okay, so it's unpacked, it's installing the theme. Okay, it's detected that it requires a parent theme. It's checking if that parent theme is installed, and they've noticed that the 2019 is the parent theme. So that's where those elements we changed are really important, because WordPress requires a parent theme, and it needs to check that that reference is done properly. Okay, so that's all installed, it's all successful. So then what we need to do is just click activate. Alright, so now we are now running the 2019 child theme, and if you go back to your website and you refresh the page, you'll notice nothing has changed. It looks exactly the same, but that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Alright, and the reason being is a child theme, as we discuss in our post, is where you can make all the edits to your theme. Okay, so if, for example, you kind of sat there and went, Mel, if I create a child theme, it's just a lot of hassle. I'm just going to make the edits I want to make to the main theme. That's it. That makes sense. But what happens is when WordPress or the theme developer publishes an update of that theme to fix bugs or to fix some compatibility issues or what have you, all those edits that you've made, all that time you spent editing and changing things, is all going to be lost on that update. Okay, and you don't want to then avoid updating because of that, because that would be a security issue, and it's, you know, some problems will arise from that if you don't update for a long time. So the best way around that is to create a child theme. Creating a child theme means that you can then make your edits in the child theme, and they will overwrite whatever's in the parent theme, and when the parent theme is updated, you won't lose your edits, and it makes life so much simpler. So just as a real basic example, okay, say we wanted to change this title in some way. So let's just have a look. In fact, I think we'll use a site title. It might be a little easier for this example. Okay, so we want to change the site title color. Okay, now, like I said, you could just go into the parent theme and change it, the CSS, and Bob's your uncle, you're sorted. But as soon as the theme's updated, you're going to lose that. Okay, so what we can do is we can go to our child theme, go to Customize, we can go to Additional CSS, and we can then start customizing our theme, okay, the way we want to customize it. So we can edit the title color, as we've said, maybe we wanted to do that. You know, we can change the color to kind of a light gray. I mean, that's not a great example. We could change it to red, okay, and we could publish that. So we can refresh our page, and now our title is red. Okay, and it doesn't matter how many times the parent theme is updated, this edit will stay because it's been made in the child theme. Alright, so you can make your edits on your child theme. Anything you want to kind of adjust and change for your child theme, you do on your website, you do in your child theme, so that then your edits are saved and you're not going to lose them. It's the best way to do it. Okay. If for whatever reason you wanted to kind of undo the edits you've made, just simply deactivate the child theme and reactivate the parent theme. What we'll say is, before you do kind of any of these things, reactivating, changing, editing things, always make sure you have really good backups. It's so important to have backups because it literally takes a second to do something slightly wrong or make a slight mistake and you've lost it, and there's no way of getting it back. So it's really important to take simple backups. It's not too hard to take simple backups, really. It's something we do as a service, as part of our service, but anyone can do it. There's plenty of plugins to help you do that. Okay, so we've shown you how to create a child theme manually, and it really is as simple as a folder and 2 files. Okay, and just the snippets of code that you can copy straight from our blog post. And that is it. That is the best way to do it, because you're using the most updated way of calling the parent theme, which is this. Okay, and that ensures that the theme isn't going to be hindered by using an old way of calling the parent style, which can slow it down a bit. Okay, we've made sure that we're using the right parent style, so we're calling it only once, and we're making sure that that works properly. And then we've got our CSS file where we can make any edits if we wish. That is the best way to make a child theme, and that's the way we would suggest. But let's say you really don't want to do that, even though it's very easy, and you want to use a plugin to do it. There are plenty of plugins that will do it. But again, we would always advise not to use a plugin for something you can do without a plugin, if that makes sense. It's always advisable to use as fewer plugins as possible. Firstly, because of site performance. Every plugin you add just adds more code and can slow down your site. Also because every plugin you add adds another potential doorway into your site in security terms. So when you think you've only got to create 1 folder and 2 files, that is the best way to do it manually. We just can't advocate any other way, really. But if you want to do it via a plugin, okay, because you want to avoid doing that and you want it to be as simple as possible in the sense of just clicking a few buttons, then what you need to do is you need to go to plugins and you need to search for Childify Me. Okay, now there are lots of different plugins that do this, but this one is the one that is the most simple. It has 0 settings. You literally click install, okay, and you activate, and that is it. That plugin is done and activated. All you need to do then, okay, is make sure you have your parent theme selected. So we're just going to move away from 2019 because we've already used that. So we're going to activate 2017 as our parent theme now. Okay, so we've now got 2017 active. And you'd click Customize. You'd go to the bottom of the Customize screen and you'll see the Childify Me button. All you do here is you literally name your child theme, okay, and just click Create. And then you preview and activate. So you have a quick preview, yep, that's lovely. We'll activate that. Okay, so we've now created a child theme using a plugin. Okay, and we'll pop back to appearance. So as you can see, we're now using 2017 child, and that was created with that plugin. Now, there is a downside to using that plugin, and that is that it still uses the old import method. Okay, so if we look at the child theme files, you'll see that it's using the old import method. Okay, and in the functions file, there is actually nothing. So what they're doing is they're using the old import method to import the parent style, 2017. Okay, which is fine, but it can slow down your site a little bit. So it really depends on which route you want to take. But like I say, it's just as easy to create a file, a folder, and a couple of files. But you can use the plugin. Once you've created your child theme with the plugin, you can also deactivate and delete the plugin if you wish. It won't have any effect on the theme at all. It will still work. As you can see, we've still got it activated. It's still working on our website. Not a problem at all. So there we go. That's how you create child themes. Hopefully that's shown you that it's not as scary as you might have first thought. And it really is as simple as just a couple of files, really. So there we go. If you have any questions, drop a comment in the comments for us. Please give this video a like, pop over to the blog and have a look and copy the code you need to. And thanks very much. We'll see you in the next video.